Hello everybody, my name is Pyrac, and in today's video I wanted to give a little bit of advice to our friends on the PlayStation and Xbox versions of Monster Hunter Sunbreak. Since you all finally got the update, I wanted to give some suggestions as to what to do first and in what order. But essentially the first things you want to do when you start out the new updates, gun towards the urgent quests, as the gear that you unlock at the end of the game will be drastically better than everything else you get, as well as your new talisman melding system will immediately replace everything else that you've got. And speaking of talisman system, you will get this one down here. This is the Vigor system. It'll basically give you ridiculously strong talismans. I'll just show you one set real quick. I'm gonna be real sad if I get something good. I got nothing good, but that's okay. All of these can be used. If you want to keep them, you can, and then use them for this system here, which is an upgraded version of the one that we had before, just with the curious ones instead. So you can get guaranteed max stats on some of them, and then you can get some extras. There's some really good extras that you can't focus, unfortunately, which are only unlocked through these, like Berserk, Dragon Conversion, Frostcraft. All those things are done in Vigor, whereas the regular skills like these ones can all be focused in the Cyclist version. So back towards the gear side of things, the Primordial set as well as the Amatsu set will basically replace everything that you're using, because the skills on it are ridiculously good, as well as the slots. Both Heaven Sent and Blood Awakening are really strong abilities that'll definitely help you out quite a bit. And then from that point, once you get the urgents out of the way and you've got the armor pieces that you need, you should definitely focus on anomaly investigations. Unfortunately, it's just the end game that we have. You want to get it up to 240 is honestly where I would stop. You can obviously go to 300 if you want, but it's definitely not needed. 240 is when you unlock the Attack 4 and Expert 4 decorations, which are really strong, especially with all the new slots that we've got in the game thanks to the new slots that we have on the armor pieces that I just mentioned. So from that point, you have two options. You can either level up to 300, which again, I don't think it's that necessary, but if you want to unlock the special investigations, that is how you do so. It'll also give you access to fighting Hazard Zenoga repeatedly to try and get some good curio talismans. It's a very quick way to do so. If you get bored, he gives 10 to, I think it's 14 per kill, and then you can fight the highest level anomaly monster that you have. In my case, it's this Valstrax here, who's level 300. And he will give me a ton of materials to do curious melding, which is how you get the good talismans. From there, you can basically do whatever you want. You can try and farm out the best talismans, you can try and farm out the best curios. It's up to you. The world's your oyster from that point onwards. And we'd probably break Valstrax here. There it is, easy. But yeah, it's not that bad of a time, just a lot of grinding. I definitely recommend, if you're doing the anomaly leveling part, fight monsters that you want to fight rather than fighting what's efficient, because you will get burnt out on it eventually. As for the best monsters to fight, I would definitely say Seething Basil and Diablos are still well and truly above most of the monsters. They're a very easy time, and they will quite quickly level you up if you can take them out in a decent amount of time, which y'all should be able to do. I trust you to be pretty skilled at the game at this point. You've had a lot of time to be playing, unfortunately, waiting for the rest of the updates. But you should be pretty good at it by now. Oh, he's doing big spin. We just go towards where he's going, and then jump under him. Nice and easy. Bap. Okay. But yeah, from there, fight whatever you want, essentially. Just make sure you're leveling up your highest quests. The low-level quests are somewhat irrelevant to do, and you should be able to buy most of the materials with the coins that you get from the higher monsters. So it's somewhat irrelevant, unfortunately, but it's just the easiest way to go about it if you don't want to get burnt out, because the grind to 300 is very long. It will take a while, unless you're playing in like a full team of light bowguns and stuff like that. Otherwise, if you get sick of fighting singular monsters, multi-monsters is also a pretty good option. It's definitely a way you can go about it. There's so many ways you can go about leveling. As long as you're doing anomaly investigations, you should get to 240 rather quickly, especially if you're already sitting at 200. So it's not going to take too much time to get there. It's just 300 that's the big hurdle. So yeah, back to the quests. Once you get to about 240, you should be able to choose whether you want to go farm up some talismans. This is the one to go get yourself some MP accelerants. You get 10 to 14 per quest, and that obviously lets you advance one set of talismans each time you use one. Otherwise, you just want to be doing whatever the highest anomaly quest that you have is. For me, it's just any of my 300s. If I was still leveling, it would have been any of these, as well as multi-monster hunts giving more XP, but they generally take longer to do, so it's up to you whether you want to do multi-monsters. If you want to keep things fresh and spicy, maybe go take on multi-monsters every now and then just to get something else out of it. And then, yeah, as I mentioned, pretty much every build will be using some mix of Tempest or Primordial pieces. As you can see here, even the LBG is still using Primordial. So yeah, just to put it into a little dot point form for you, in case you just want to go to the end and see the format of what you should do. First off, go do your urgent quests, get Primordial Malzeno out of the way. That'll unlock the armor sets that you're going to be using for most of your builds. From there, get to anomaly rank 240, which shouldn't take you too long at all, depending how fast you go at it and gun at it. Honestly, we probably have a long time until the next Monster Hunter game, so you can probably be pretty slow with it getting to 240, but that'll unlock your attack boost 4, as well as your expert 4 jewels, which are very good with the new pieces of armor because they can actually use it. And then from there, you can decide whether you want to gun to 300 anomaly rank, which I don't recommend. Honestly, it's not that big of a deal to get the special investigations unlocked, but you can do it if you want to be really hardcore, or you can do the Hazard Zenoga every now and then to get some accelerants to get better talismans, because you can get some pretty ridiculous talismans, which I didn't really show, but we'll have a quick glance right now. So as you can see from this list here, you can get Strife talismans, like these. Yep, there it is. So Strife 3, 2 slot. You can get some pretty crazy stuff going. Frostcraft 3 here will immediately replace a Valkana set. Berserk talismans are pretty rare, but they are ridiculously strong as well. Build up boost sets, Mail of Hellfire sets, all can be improved with these talismans as well. As you can see here, you can get to Mail of Hellfire 3 as well as Build up boost 3 on some talismans as their main skill, which becomes pretty crazy. You can get some really good ones for sure. And of course, you've got the Furious ones as well if you're using a Dragon Conversion build, which will be the comfort meta for some people if you don't want to use Dereliction or Berserk. And of course, with mention of Dereliction, you can also get Dereliction talismans, which are really good for a lot of the ranged weapons as well as some other weapons. They're quite good. Oh yeah, one more thing I forgot to show. We get Weakness Exploit 3 talismans now as well. This is quite significant because I believe the previous best talisman that you may still be using now is a Weakness Exploit 2 talisman. You can upgrade to a Weakness Exploit 3 talisman now. And since I didn't really go over the Cyclist Melding at all, Cyclist Melding does let you choose the talisman, but you have to trade in Curious Crafted talismans to do that. So that's why you would want to hold on to some Curious Craft talismans, even if they're not very good, because you can recycle them in here like this, and then just send it straight away, and then you get those exact talismans. Also, always look at the rarity 9 and 8s. They can be pretty good. This one here is actually pretty insane. I think I might even still use this now. It's actually really good. But yeah, from there, you basically completed Sunbreak. That's what we've got with the final updates. That's what you have to look forward to. Hopefully this helps some of you all out, because I know some people like to have somewhat linear progression and see exactly what they should go do in which order, and this is definitely the best way to go about it. As always though, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.